like, yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, I'm really him on God. Walk up in his like, yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, I'm really him.
All right, boys and girls, welcome back to The Rush. It's your boy, Maxx Crosby. Got my brothers with me, Brogan Roback, Darren Terrell, Dustin Creel, and a very, very special guest, Darren Waller. We appreciate you for being with us, brother.
Blessed to be here, bro. Blessed to be here, man.
We appreciate you, bro. What's new? How you been?
Oh, man, shoot. A lot new, bro. Retirement. I've been outdoors a lot. I've been hit all the national parks in Utah. I was in Colorado last week. I'm real outdoors right now, just smoking sticks in my backyard, recording music. Like, very simple lifestyle right now that I'm very much enjoying.
Did you hit Pikes Peak when you were in Colorado?
Oh yeah, I got to the top, got out the car, felt like my heart was stopping. I was stumbling when I got out the car. Like, you gotta think that it's 15,000 feet.
We walked it, bro.
That Manitou incline, y'all done that?
No.
That shit is treacherous, bro. Manitou Springs, so it's like kind of in that Colorado Springs area.
You know what blows my mind? We're walking up that mountain, and you got running down and up past you, like for 14. I'm like, whatever y'all are on, I need that.
They were doing like a marathon. They were training. They go up, down, and then up again. And we're trying to just walk.
It's crazy, bro.
Different.
It's just disgusting.
It is. Why you in Atlanta, though? You mentioned you're in Atlanta, just music stuff? That's like the mecca for music, right?
So I grew up in Atlanta, so I'll be here, but I am shooting a video here tomorrow for a new drop that I put out. But
so are we teasing it?
Can we get a sneak peek, ahead of time?
Man, yeah. We can get out some footage, man, some behind the scenes, man. What we need.
There we go.
Here, man.
Anyway, we can get tuned in.
For sure.
No doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt.
We gotta get Maxx back.
You said what?
I don't know when Maxx dropped last. We gotta get Maxx back in the booth, man.
Yeah, I know, bro. Fowler's been on my ass about it too. I've been locked in. I've been busy, so
for sure.
I really miss recording though too. I'm not gonna lie. I love making music, but it's different. I got a lot of shit going on, so
you got time.
Yeah,
we gotta get back in my bag.
We're begging him to release the old SoundCloud tapes that he had way back when. Yeah, Juwapo.
They don't know about that. That's in the past.
Let's keep that.
But run streams up off the strength though.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, bro. We were making hits in high school for sure. That's how these guys first heard about me.
Yep. We used to play Max's music literally at our parties in college and just start blasting over the aux. And everyone in that bitch knew word for word. He thought he was Drake back in the day. all we needed him to do was perform. K-Dot.
I felt like K-Dot. You know what I mean? Not Drake. Hey, my boy Brogan here has been real quiet about his boy Drake lately. we might have to revisit because it's been a rough couple months, and our boy's the biggest Drake fan on earth. So
I'm interested to see how he bounced back, though, man. Because
I really am too, bro. He has to come. Like,
is he not going to? Let's be real. Is he not going to? He's going to.
He has to, though. He has no option. He's got to be straight Tony Montana, say hello to my little friend, top of the staircase type shit. That's the only way he can bounce back.
Well, dude, we were just in Cabo for Creel's wedding. We just got back last night, and him and his wife came out to Not Like Us. I was geeked up, and at the same time, I'm like, this is ad. This shitting on my guy.
Yeah,
that was hurtful.
Kendrick's been relentless with it, bro. That the whole West Coast is on fire.
Yeah,
on fire.
They lit.
Plus, why do you really don't want to go up against a lyricist like Kendrick ever?
No.
He too calculated, bro. He bringing military strategy to that shit.
Battle rap, like legit
guerrilla warfare. He's fucking literally ahead of his time, bro.
Sure.
What about you? You about to get into a battle soon? I feel like that. If you do, we'll come out there and vlog it. You get a little battle. You and Maxx
underground.
Me and Waller.
You just go neck to neck.
I gotta get some hits under the belt first, man.
Yeah, I love it.
Doubt.
Where'd your inspiration though, for real, or your love for music come from? Have you always been that way?
I feel like that shit is just in my blood off the rip because my great grandfather was like this legendary jazz musician. I had no idea till probably my senior year of college, like how big of a deal that he really was. And I was like, like I feel like I've always had an ear for music, like a love for music. Like my brain, just how I listen to it, is just different. And then once I learned about who he was, I was like, shit, I got to have some kind of journey in this for me, because ain't nobody else in my family doing none of this shit. Like, it can't just die. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody got to carry the torch on, even if it's just like a little bit. I don't give if I'm just doing local Joker shows. Like, nigga, it's something in that journey for me. You know what I'm saying? So,
facts.
I love it.
I'm just walking with it, you know?
Hell yeah.
No, that's dope. You've made some waves in the music game when you're on the Breakfast Club. How was that experience, bro? I'm sitting here scrolling on YouTube. All of a sudden I see Darren Waller with Charlemagne. I'm like, what the is going on, bro? How was it?
That was an experience, bro. The whole time I was in the weight room, the only two things I could think about was Birdman. Like, I think better put some respect. Soldier Boy was
some respect on my name.
Soldier Boy. Soldier wasn't there tweaking, so I'm like, got me on here.
What do they do?
I'm talking about sobriety and shit like that shit. Ratings. Like, it actually ended up being cool.
That's
dope. That's a legendary experience, bro, for sure. I grew up watching Breakfast Club, the 6ix9ine interviews and all that crazy shit. Those are must-see TV, bro.
You almost have to come in with animosity. That's like the only way rappers or artists come in there, I swear. They're just already on edge, ready to go at anybody that's ever talked shit about them in that moment, and they're just ready to rock. But that's when you get the fire. When they start spitting on the beats, they go crazy in there.
Facts.
No, facts.
Yes.
Facts.
No. Hey, I'm curious. So which teammate, we were joking around you and Maxx, but every player pretty much, I feel like in the league, not every player, but a good majority, they got a studio in their crib. They all think like they can make music. So for you, like which teammate over the years has the best bars that you've been around?
Ooh.
Whoa.
I know.
Bars.
You could have a dark horse, someone in the locker room who might I don't know.
My boy Hadi on the Giants. His name is Jihad Ward. He played for the Ravens for a bit. He played for the Colts.
Jihad Ward. Hell yeah.
He got in the team meeting room. Like, I think we had both like dropped some new shit at the same time. So Brian Dable's like, Hadi, Waller, get up here. Like, they gave him like we was finna battle, but like this man Hadi freestyle for like 4 minutes straight and was spitting. Like, niggas were just locked in. Like, oh my gosh, so like,
just bopping the whole.
I give it to Hadi.
Forgetting you're at a team meeting and everything.
Right.
Yeah. Fact.
Hey, Jihad Ward too. I've been a low key fan of him for a while, bro. His celebrations where he turns the helmet and shit. He does all type of crazy shit. He's geeked out there.
Max, if you would have been in the locker room with him, bro, like that's one of the funniest I've ever been around in my. Like, he's like Mac Hollins level of like unique. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's nobody like him.
Is Mac Hollins unique?
Oh my
what?
God.
In which way? Look at
every way.
Yeah,
facts, bro.
Shrimp
Mac
checks.
Hollins is one of one.
Man, barefoot running. Like, he would drink the water with the M&Ms after we lost.
What?
M&Ms, not Skittles.
He would drink the water with the M&Ms, like a whole infused water.
Inside the water?
Not even Skittles.
Bro,
this dude would run to the facility barefoot through the concrete, everything, hop a fence and walk in the building with black feet, bro. Like legitimately David Goggins type shit. That's what he was on.
At least it's warm out there. It didn't burn his feet off.
He was built different.
Basically did.
Conditioned athletes, strongest. Like, we were following his lead, like when he first came to the team.
Jesus.
Really?
Bro, Mac Hollins is a different animal, bro.
Facts.
He was a different animal.
He's huge too, bro. For a receiver,
he's built different.
He's built different in all ways, obviously, it seems like, but that's crazy. I'll kick it off. I want to transition a little bit with you, but obviously with your story, it's well documented. But with all the trials, the tribulations that you've gone through and overcame, curious, like, how do you feel like you can impact people's lives through your music the same way like you have throughout football and telling your story and touching people in the same way in music as you did on the field?
Absolutely, man. That's what I try to do first and foremost, is really be authentic in my music. I try to make sure that's hard, like that people will vibe to, you know what I'm saying, and enjoy. But at the end of the day, it's just like me pulling things from inside of me to share with the world. And I got endless experiences. Like, motherfucker, I've been arrested. I've been kicked off of or suspended from teams. I've been divorced. I've been, you know what I'm saying? Like, every life experience you can have, high, low, I feel like in 31 years, I damn near had, if not all of them, a lot of them. So, it's just a lot that people could take away and relate to.
Hell yeah. Are you?
No
Is
doubt.
it when you try to release music? Is it hard for you? Like, I'm sure you're probably really particular about the sound and what you like and what you're spitting out. Is it hard for you to release music? Are you really like picky? Like, I'm just curious your thought process. Like, how many times do you have to rerun through stuff until you're like, okay, I f- with this one. This is the message I'm trying to get across, etc.
Yeah, that's a good question, man. Because I could psych myself out of some shit real quick. Like you could sit on something for a long time and be like, well, I don't know what this is, and you're doing some risky shit. Like, so yeah, but I just try to push shit out as quick as possible now, and just be like, and not even give it a chance, because I know the people are going to decide at the end of the day. I love all my, but if I give them the chance, I can overthink my way out of with them.
You select the team to more or less envision what you're trying to do and then move forward with as a group. It's not like music everyone thinks of as a solo thing, but I know you have a team behind you. If you just want to talk on that and how you like picked out your team, that would be like, oh.
Yeah. So, I came across my manager, her name is Diana, through an artist I really enjoy. His name's Sayari the Kid. And, I see the way his career is just like as an independent artist and just the way that he moves, and, had a connection to her. So she's been working with me. I got my boy Callie, who's like my tattoo artist, who's also like creative, like running social media, like telling me like, all right, bro, this is what we got to do for YouTube, TikTok. Cause I'm like I got an iPhone, bro. Like I'm not on no.
Yeah.
So he's like, all right, bro. Like, but we have to do this shit. Like you got to be with the content. You got to be, trying to have a strategy and a presence, even though you're trying to keep that space for your personal life. So it's like, I got him rocking with me. I got my boy J-Rod, who I met through my tattoo artist, who's a really dope engineer, is working with, I mean, all kinds of artists as an engineer, but also a dope producer, vocalist. I've been rocking with him a lot. And yeah, got like PR people. Like, so you know what I'm saying? It's like just a similar thing. I'm figuring this shit out. I was like, oh, bro, I ain't finna be on here act like I just know this shit for real. Like, I'm just like, we thugging and figuring it out on the way.
Yeah.
No, for sure. It's different, but at the same time, it's similar. Like you got to have the right support system. That shit is more important than anything. Having the right people, the right vision, people that understand what you're trying to get done, and, not pushing something that you're not fully behind, because eventually you'll push them away, over time. And I feel that for sure. With obviously your viral moment, recently with your new song that dropped, I think everybody was tuned in and seen it, and was locked in. What kind of was your thought process when everything went? Like, what were what was your intentions about dropping? Like, what was your goal when you dropped the song? And like, also, what are your thoughts post song, dropping? Like, how do you think, the whole thing went?
So that's very interesting. I remember like putting the song out. I remember when I recorded it, it was like the beginning of February. And in my brain, I'm realizing like how all my relationships have kind of gone in my life. It's like the same pattern. So I had this idea. I was like, if the girl had the pen and had the mic and would write a song to me, like what would that song say? Like what would it be?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, fuck it. I guess it's a different perspective. I'm gonna just go with it. Like, and dropped it. And like I said, I have this life phone, so I'm not on Instagram. I'm not seeing news. I'm not seeing internet. And people are hitting me like, yo, like this shit is out of control. Like, just hit me. Like, she just had a baby. She's off the grid. She's like, why is your name like everywhere right now? And I was like, I don't know. Then like shit, and I was like, interesting. Like Stephen A had something to say about it. Like, wow, okay. Mm-hmm. I was just trying to put myself out there, like in an authentic way. Like, it's just the shit I'm really going through. Like, if I'm gonna put some shit out that's authentic to my life, like in that moment, like that was shit that I was thinking, that was shit that I was feeling, and put it out there. So I'm sure there was a mass amount of like, this dude is tweaking, like he got to be back on the drugs, like, and then there's a lot of people that were like, okay, this is dope, like this is different, this is deep. So, you got to appreciate it all, man. It's all noise at the end of the day too.
No such thing as
that shit is dope, bro. And like, and that's what, people obviously are going to be super positive and love it. And the other people are going to be like, it's the worst thing ever. What is he thinking? Blah, blah, blah. That's just how the world is, no matter what field you're in, as the higher you go. But, no, I just respect the shit out of you for doing it, because most people, and I can understand as being an addict, like, we have the similar wiring where if we got something on our chest, like we need to get that shit out there, and you need to tell people and be front and honest and up for it. Like if I got something really bothering me, I need to get it out right now. So like I fully felt that and like understood it. And like you could tell the average person, you know, in our sober community, people say normies, like they couldn't understand that shit. You know what I mean? So I just want to say, I want to give you your flowers, because at the end of the day, regardless how everybody took it, good or bad, like it takes a lot of balls to do something and be 100% yourself and vulnerable in front of millions, because that shit was like your boy was saying, like that shit was everywhere, bro. Everywhere I looked, I seen Darren Waller on the beach, and I'm like, this is my guy, bro. I just want to make sure you're good, and that's all that matters, bro.
Yeah,
shit. I think about the TikTok when you made I don't know what it is, but you're standing maybe in your kitchen or something that went viral.
Oh, was it? That did not age
that
well.
Went dumb.
That did not age well
at all.
Why do you say that for people that are tuning in, don't know?
So I was in my kitchen, I was making this beat. It was like this old school sample from like the 60s or the 70s. And you know, back then all they're singing about is they got their heart broken, their girl left them, like come back.
Oh yeah. Rod Wave type shit. Yeah, 100%.
So the dudes are singing like, you lost a very good man. Hey, is that what you want to do? And I flipped that shit. And that shit was going nuts.
That went nuts.
It was like half people were like, oh, this dude is like subbing his wife at the time. The other people are like, nah, that this beat is hard as and
beat was super hard, bro.
It was no like me subbing. Like I'm not that type of dude, bro. So I'm like, I'm just cooking a beat up and just being a goofball in my kitchen because I have nothing to do that day. So I'm like, oh yeah, I got to TikTok. Like I'm gonna do this dumb shit and put it on TikTok. This is why I need to have this phone right here.
was that a conscious decision that you made like recently to be off the grid, or have you always been that type of dude? You haven't had like the smartphone, iPhone, social media.
I've always struggled with it, man. I've always like loved like being on it and posting stuff, and you kind of get the highs of like posting stuff and people know who you are, and you know, like bitches in your DMs and whatnot, that type of shit. But then it's also like I get on there, I'm also like comparing myself to other people and like judging myself for where I'm at against other people and where they may be at, or like, why do I not have a certain amount of this or a certain amount of that? So it's just that tug. And it's always like, I don't really feel like I need this. I feel like I can have somebody that can run this for me and kind of give me an idea of how to do it. But I feel like I'm much more at peace, much more centered, like much more just like focused on what I need to do and just happier when I'm not on there. So it has a decision to just be like, all right, I'm not doing none of it.
Is that hard?
Recently? Oh, yeah. No, you're good. Was that recently? Like how long ago did you start doing that?
Top of the year.
Okay.
Yeah. Plus it's like a lot of decisions with, you know, life decisions where I'm like, all right, like I just need to lock in. Like I'm going places like, you know, loading up on therapy, loading up on all these different things. It's like, all right, I'm making huge life decisions here. I just need to like blot everything out. And then I'm just like, I don't even really feel like going back now.
Yeah. Nice. Is it harder to do now that you're out of ball and you have more free time to kind of step out of that and not be, for me, if I have any 20, 30 minutes, I'm scrolling on my phone. You know what I mean? Like, so it's got to be hard now with all the spare time, I would assume. Yeah,
it's difficult, but I feel like I've had this phone for 4 or 5 months now. And so I'm kind of like getting to those moments to where it's like, my first reflex isn't pulling my phone out anymore. I'm kind of just like, I'm spending time like meditating for 30 minutes out in the backyard, or like if I get somewhere and I got to be somewhere for 10 minutes, I'm like sitting there and I'm like quietly praying in my mind, or like thinking about some shit, or like thinking like of a music idea, just kind of like being there and not just kind of numbing out with my phone, I guess.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
I feel that.
That's real.
It is.
That's just real, bro.
It is difficult. So you mentioned your music. So All in Your Head is obviously about overthinking. At least that's why I read, right? It's about you overthinking. So, and I can relate to that. I feel like I live in my head half the time, but I'm just curious for you, like, how have you trained your mind over the years to limit the overthinking and just like enjoy being in the moment? Like for you, what's worked and how have you got to that point of, obviously overthinking is going to happen, but how do you just limit that?
Yeah, it's a great question. I feel like for guys like me and Maxx, like we're so used to coaches being like, get the in, like, you know, like lock in, like do this shit, or like literally it's like for us, like do this shit or you're fired, like do this shit right, or like you're not gonna, somebody else is coming in. So with me, like when I overthink or like my mind's going to a bunch of different places, I'll like get on myself, be like, why the am I thinking about this? Why can't I focus? Why can't I just be calm? Why can't I just be present? It's shifting that and just being like more accepting of myself and really like more gentle towards myself. and stop just like beating myself over the head with a hammer and just be like, all right, like I'm getting a little out of control. Like, let's bring it back. Like how many times can I just bring myself back to the moment and just be right here? Because if I bring myself back and I'm just like, what the like, that's not going to help me at all. But if I'm being nicer overall to myself, just developing more self-love, self-respect, that helps be more in the moment and get out of my head less. And just like, and also just like picking up the phone and calling people. It's helped me a lot. I've never really done that. I don't really allow people in. It's still a difficult thing for me. It's just like letting people come in, and when I'm connected to other people, I'm less in my head. I'm out of myself more. So it's just starting with things like that, and then just kind of keeping a busy schedule in my day, not having a lot of idle time. My mind will go left if I got so like I'm still sick, bro. So I gotta tighten up.
just touching on that point right there. I know being on a team, you're surrounded by resources, you're surrounded by teammates like Maxx that are on the same journey, like with sobriety. What has it been like transitioning to something more of an individual profession? How has that done and made an impact on your sobriety when you aren't surrounded by all those people and those support systems?
Yeah, it's almost like I gotta find a way to recreate that locker room environment like in my daily life. So it's like, whereas like being in the league and stuff like that, it's like, I didn't really have a lot of time to go to like in-person meetings or establish friendships like that. And it's like I gotta make that a priority and keep connected and have guys I can call daily and get myself out of like my comfort zone. So that's the most difficult part. It's just like, all right, you have that built-in time of like guys you can relate to, you can laugh with, you can joke with, just like fuck around with, and how healthy that is for a man. And it's like, okay, like I got to be diligent in creating that for myself in my day-to-day, because I'm in a whole different routine, whole different type of type of vibe now, and I got to be able to make sure I'm not just drifting back into isolation when I'm doing that.
For sure. Bro, I seen your post recently. I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago or whatever, but it's just kind of about what you were just saying about being more gentle with yourself and giving yourself some self-love and self-talk is so important, bro. And that shit hit home. Like I was sitting there, I watched it like 2 or 3 times, but that shit is so real. And I think people don't take that into consideration enough, like truly talking to yourself the right way, because you can, like you talk about, getting in your own head and overthinking and shit like that is all stem from, your inner demons and what you're going through, and you think you're the only one. But at the end of the day, like if you don't forgive yourself and you don't love yourself, nobody else will. And isolating, I have the same exact tendencies. Like I love staying busy, and I force myself to go outside and do shit, even though sometimes I'm like, I don't want to do this. I got to go at 3. But these guys, like they've been around me all off season. They're around me all the time. And like, I love doing it because I get to really go out and be around people, and I can feel those experiences, and somebody like telling me, yo, like you helped me get sober. Like that shit just from one person will make my whole day. Yeah. So I think it's important just for the viewers, everyone listening, like, and I love that you're so open about it and real, because that shit is so important, bro. And it doesn't get talked about enough. Like even addicts, like obviously we're extreme individuals, but it's everybody. Everybody goes through shit, and like the way you talk to yourself is so important. And Rich Bisaccia he stayed on me all the time about that. I'm sure he said the same thing to you, but he's like, positive self-talk, football, in business, whatever you're in, whatever you tell yourself, you're already halfway there. If you're giving yourself positive shit, then more likely a positive result's coming from it. The negativity, you're just on your way to failing. And I think it's real, bro, for sure. All right, y'all. We got a big surprise for y'all. We love you guys. We appreciate all the love and support, and we got some big shit coming. So at 75K subscribers, we are going to be giving away 3 signed jerseys. 3 of them, not 1, not 2, not 4. We're giving away 3. So we need you guys to subscribe. First off, we need you to follow all of our pages, Instagram, Twitter, and do that right now. We're about, 13K away? So we need you guys to do that right now. We got 3 signed jerseys to 3 lucky fans. But on top of it, we're trying to get to 100K. We talk about support. We talk about the love. You know what I'm giving to y'all. We know what you guys are giving to us. But at 100K subscribers, we are going to be giving away 2 tickets to 2 different people. So that's 4 total tickets to 2 different people if we get to 100K subscribers when we get there. Not if, it's when. So go subscribe, go like, go follow, tune in, keep doing what you're doing. We're going to do that giveaway at 100K subscribers out of appreciation for y'all, because without y'all, none of this would be happening. I'm going to keep giving y'all everything I got, every fiber in my body to get our team to where we need to go. And in return, I'm going to give y'all that. So 2 tickets to two different set of people, and we're going to be dialed in. You're going to be at Allegiant Stadium, rocking and rolling, showing up in the silver and black, and it's going to be all time. It's going to be legendary. So we appreciate you guys. We love y'all. My ass is going to training camp, so y'all better get to work because I'm going to be working. So I love y'all. Appreciate it.
I'm curious, too, because I'm sure you probably have played with, and I could be wrong, but maybe you played with other people that are on a similar path, going through sobriety. But for you and Maxx, I guess it's kind of for both of you, but how cool or how important was it for you guys to be on the same team, going through similar journeys, similar paths, and having one another to be able to bounce things off of, and you guys actually understand what one another is going through? You know what I mean? Because if you're not necessarily an addict, you don't necessarily see it the same way or in the same lens as you guys, right? So being able to juggle football and being the national football player, and like, that's a big deal, and there's a lot of pressure that comes on with that. So I'm just curious, how important was it for you guys in your journey to have one another to lean on?
Yeah, I feel like just in the time where, like, once we got to Vegas and like Maxx had some established time in sobriety, and me myself, it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, living in recovery is so much about like habits and discipline that you have, and continuing to do work and continuing to, surrender the results and like continue to try to like trust God and things like that. So it's one of those things where like wouldn't even have to talk to Maxx. I could just see the way that Maxx is moving, or like the way that the energy that he's bringing, like in the weight room or like in any situation or setting. And I'd be like, okay, yeah, like just knowing like he thinks the way that I think, and you relate on a lot of things. Like, he could be having a tough day. He could be having some tough things going on at home, but he's still bringing that level of energy to the building and to the guys around. It's like, I could feed off that. And I'm sure there may be days where he probably felt the way that I just described, and could maybe look at me and be like, oh no, like, yeah, like this is like, I can rise to another level. And that's all Max ever did. Cause we didn't talk about it at the beginning. Like, when I got to the team in 2019 and Max made a decision to get sober, like, he did that on his own. Like, and so that just goes to show you, like, if that example is there, and that person is there, like, I could look at Max and be like, all right, that's the standard for work ethic. Like, let me make sure I'm matching that. Any day I feel like I don't even want to be here, or I'm struggling, like, I can look over the room and see another guy who, is working through the same shit, and be like, all right, like, yeah, somebody here has got my back. I don't even got to talk about it,
100%. No, that's real. Like, that's something like, a lot of people don't understand, like, that dynamic, and people have asked us multiple times, like, about our relationship in the locker room. Like, I think me and Waller are similar in this way. Like, it takes a lot. Like, I got to really have trust, and like, have to really open up and be 100% myself. Like, I really got to know you, and like, spend time around you, and like, trust you. Like, that's something that's real important. But I think it's so true. Like what Waller said, like, feeling my energy, doing what I do. It's the same way, vice versa, because he didn't even know. I didn't go to Waller and be like, how did you do it? What do I need? It was just like, I see what he's doing, and I know he got sober. I know he's changing himself and getting better. And if he can do it, I know I can do it. Like, even though it was so hard in the beginning, the first year, like, I was going through it, but I'm like, this dude you were a superstar at that point. Like, you were really starting to take off, and I wanted to be at that level. I wanted to get, I wanted to be doing those things, but I really had to go through it and understand, like, the sobriety comes first. If I'm not sober, and if I'm not doing everything I need to do, like, none of that shit's going to come. And like, that's the hardest thing about it, especially, fresh out the gate. So yeah, Waller, even though me and him are kind of, we're in our own world a little bit sometimes, like, it's like telekinesis. I just could see him from a mile away. I'm like, yeah, he's on that type of time. I need to be on my shit. So yeah, it's real. That energy, we don't even have to say shit. You just give him a look, and it's a wrap.
Hell yeah. I love it. I'm gonna switch it around a little bit, just because everybody is so curious about you and football. And so I want to ask you, like, what's one thing you're going to miss most on lacing up on Sundays, in your opinion, now that you're thinking about it? Like, what's that one thing that you're going to be like, man, I am going to really miss that on every Sunday?
I would say it's, like, going through so many difficult things, like during the week, difficult workouts, thugging through meetings, like all these things, and then going out there with the guys, and like, and just seeing it all pay off, and like that shared emotion, the shared, like, whether it was wins and losses, like, just sharing that with a lot of really dope dudes, man, that was a lot of fun. And it's like, now I'm in my home gym, like, if I got to motivate myself to work out, like, it ain't like like the homies are there like with me, you know what I'm saying? So it's really just that environment, you know. It was cool to make a lot of plays and like be somebody that was like, you know, a dominant force, but I feel like it's really just being out there with the guys and just like and laughing and just being like in the plays and the moments that we would have and share, just being like, wow, like this is what we were thinking about, you know, when we were kids. Like,
yeah,
at some point in our life seemed like it was like impossible almost. So it's almost like, what the like I'm literally living this life type of shit. So
yeah. And now you're just climbing a new journey, or you're just climbing a new mountain pretty much. Obviously we hit on, which is your new hobby. Obviously we just hit on climbing up mountains.
And now I'm like, shit, man. Like I went from not a single soul. If somebody said they knew in 2017 that I was going to be great, they are full of cap. Like, niggas, they were not checking for me or thinking I was going to do anything. And I went from there to, you know, the level of play that I was able to sustain for a bit. Like, I feel like why can't I take those same principles and habits into something else and do the same thing, or at least just become the best version of myself in that. So that's what I'm thinking.
I was going to ask too, like, so obviously, you know, your careers, you probably have one of the most wild career trajectories of all time. I mean, something I don't think has ever happened, you know, going from, you know, P squad to the, you know, the pre-practice or pre-game and Gruden and those guys seeing you and bringing you over. You know, what was your experience like going from, you know, the Raiders being around Gruden and then that transition to McDaniels, and then all of a sudden a year later you're in New York City? Like, where was your mindset at that time, and how difficult was it? Because I know you were dealing with hamstring issues, you know, back to back, like multiple times. Where, you know, how kind of break that time down for us in a little quick timeline and where your mind was at.
Yeah. I look back on that time and I'm like, I'm glad I was grateful for those times and those seasons, because it's like, we're never like entitled for just forever, like everything's just gonna be booming, you know what I'm saying? Like, and like I had a good stretch of time where it was like, this shit is incredible, like this shit is way better than I ever thought it could be. And then you hit walls, like everybody hits something that is some level of adversity, and it was difficult for me to you know, overcome that, and it's very, very frustrating to deal with. And then like have different coaches and then shift different teams and go across the country and then have some of the same things happen. It's just like, fuck, like you feel like you can't catch a break sometimes, and which is very frustrating. It can be defeating sometimes, but it's also like I can look back on it and be like, well, the times that I was on the field, the pace and, you know, the numbers and the level of production, just like the presence that I brought was always the same when I was out there. But it's like, hey man, you gotta cherish that success and be grateful for when things are really up, because it could go on for a lot longer, but it also couldn't. And you don't want to look back and be like, oh, all I was thinking about was more and more and more and more and more, when things were really amazing for a period of time.
Yeah. Darren, real quick, I was going to ask. So, you know, that, like you said, that's a period of time, like you back-to-back Pro Bowls, things like that. You become the highest paid tight end in the league, which is awesome. Shout out to Peter. I know Peter was fired up with that one. Shout out to Peter Borowski, our financial advisor. We share. Yeah. So with the whole hamstring issue, when did that start, and where do you think like that stemmed from? Did anything change in your routine that you look back, you're like, damn, I could have done this different? Or did it just it was just one of those things that you really had out of your control? Because I think, you know, for the viewers and people behind the scenes, like I got to see you every day run, and like, you know, I'm not trying to kiss ass, but you're a thoroughbred, bro. You're running 4.4 at 6'6", 6'7", you know what I mean? So kind of break that down. Like what do you think what do you think it stemmed from, or, you know, how did it all kind of play out?
Yeah, man, it's still things I'm still trying to process, because there was no change in the level of like off-season preparation, or like I was doing the same shit before 2019, before 2020, before 2021. Like, so it's very frustrating to, you know, get through camps, get through all those things, and then get to the season. It's like, man, the same things keep happening, to a way where it's almost like I have thoughts now of like, man, is this like God telling me like there's something else for me? Like this wasn't supposed to be all that it was, like, cause it just doesn't really make all that much sense, especially like with the way things were going in 2020. And then like the first half of 2021, it's just like, there's no drop off. It's only like continuing to build. And then it's just like, well, like, it was supposed to be like, we're supposed to be talking about how, like, Tim Brown's telling me, like, bro, keep going. You're going to the Hall of Fame. And I'm like, yeah, fuck, yeah, do it.
Hell yeah.
And then it's like, well, it's like, is this, like I said, like I'm unpacking now, like, is this God trying to pull me out and be like, this is not where I need you forever? I don't know, man. So it's just like, it's something that I don't try to, like, that's one of those things I can get all in my head about and be like, man, like, what the fuck was going on? Like, what did I not do? What did I miss? What was I tripping on? And I was like, man, I worked as hard as I possibly could. Nothing changed. I tried to strive for that same level of humility and just like remaining coachable, remaining teachable, trying new things, implementing things that could help me with my situation, and was still frustrating, but shit, bro, it's still answers.
The hamstrings are the fucking trickiest.
Yeah, it's tough. That's tough. It's hard to like you said, the overthinking part, like what the did I skip a stretch, or what the am I doing wrong? Or you could definitely get in your head. It's crazy looking back. But my guy Alex Guerrero, I don't know if you met Alex, but he works on a body for me 5 days a week. Dude's incredible. I wish you were with him, because I had a hamstring and he helped me. I popped a hamstring last year in camp, and I was back rolling in less than a week, and I was mind blown. I heard the shit pop, and that dude was incredible. He changed my career in a lot of ways. He saved my season, and he talks about it to this day. He's like, fuck. He's like, I wish he was here. I'd get my hands on him, and we're talking about it, getting pissed off and shit. But just crazy. You never know how everything's going to play out. But like you said, God has a plan for everybody, and it's out of your control.
No doubt.
You talk about you're in your head a lot. You think a lot about your circumstances. Do you think that if you were still in Vegas, you would have still made the same decision? Or did the trade or going over to New York, did those things kind of play a factor? New team, same shit, I'm done with it type of thing?
I don't know, man. I feel like I definitely loved being in Vegas, and was just like, I'm willing to give everything I got here. So you could make a case for like, yeah, I feel like it could be different. But I don't know, man. It's just like, I kind of got to accept reality as it is, and and know that, along the way, like while playing and while really, feel like my career was going well, there was also like, times where it's like, football for a long time was like a tool for me to be accepted amongst men and amongst social groups. So that was also at play as well, to where it's like, there were some days where it's like, yeah, I'm putting this working out. This is just who I am as a man. But there's still times where I'm like, man, do I really like, that's where I reached last year. It's like, man, like I kind of had like faint thoughts, but I feel like I still needed to be here, still had a mission to do. But it's just like last year was just so loud in my head of just like, bro, like I had a definitive why before. I just don't feel like I have one anymore. And, so yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like I would have loved to stay in Vegas, because like, yeah, man, I'm riding for the city. Like we do a lot of shit, a lot of it. Like guys like me and Maxx, like we really care about the motherfuckers, and it's still love at the end of the day. So I don't know, man. It's a tough question.
Yeah.
Were you contemplating retirement at the end of last season, or was there like thoughts creeping in ahead of time? And then how hard, or let's just say, how close were you on the verge of being like, I'm going to give it one more run? Like, how hard was that decision for you to make? Obviously very tough, and then when did that thought process of retirement start kicking in for you?
I remember when it started. I definitively remember where it started. We played Buffalo on a Sunday.
That'll do it to you.
We played Buffalo on a Sunday night, and we're in the course of the game, and we're having a lot of success with this Y counter lead play. So I'm like, damn near playing fullback, hitting on the counter and going up and hitting the linebacker, and Saquon hitting the Jets. And I'm like, this is not what I want to be doing, but it's helping the team. But I'm like, bro, like I'm in here doing Y counter lead now. Like I'm on the sideline, like looking up at the moon, like, wow. Like
you're doing your Foster shit.
Yeah. When the moon was full, I'm just looking at it. I'm like, is this what I really like? Do I really still want to keep doing this? Especially if things aren't going my way, because I can't always dictate that I'm going to get this amount of targets. Like if I'm a teammate, like I may have to do things that I don't like to do and keep that level of commitment. And so that's where I kind of got to this mode where I was like, I got to be 100% bought in. Like if I'm going to go out there, I can't be going out there like with the guys who are like, you know, eat, sleep, and breathing this shit, and like,
Yep.
you know, really trying to make the best. And I'm here like, you know, just showing up and giving them my work for the day and just going home, like, and being like, can't wait to get out of here. Like, I don't think that's fair. You know what I'm saying? So that's where it kind of started. And then like, I was like, all right, I got to make this decision and make sure I'm 100% bought in. If it's not 100,
You're committed ultimately to do anything to help a team win. But then there's that other side, the other shoulder saying, if they would like, you know, interact me more on the offense, I could even further, you know, succeed and help our team succeed more. So it's like the constant battle of, are you going to, you know, give me my flowers to help us succeed rather than just beat me into a position that someone else can almost do, you know? Because no one can run routes and catch the ball like you can, but necessarily you can block like someone else can. That's not your like bread and butter.
right? Yeah. I look back on my career and I realized one thing about me is I would like to, I didn't want to be somebody that was causing a lot of confrontation or a lot of arguments among like players and coaches. But I feel like there's a fine line with that where it's also like, you know, I'm like standing up for myself and standing up for like, all right, the teams will be more successful if somebody like me is successful. But I was like so much of just like not wanting to step on nobody's toes or hurt anybody's feelings where it's like, okay, I feel like I could have stepped up and said some things more, suggested some things, and not just let things kind of happen, you know? So just in little different stages, I look at myself and I'm like, like what more could I have done just from like a mental standpoint?
Yeah, it's probably tough too in New York with that media being able to voice your opinion or, you know, and without it getting twisted in the wrong way, which I'm sure you know better than any of us. But yeah, I mean, we were talking about it before you came on. In my opinion, you're one of the best vertical threats at a tight position that I personally have ever seen. Like, I remember when you were in your peak, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it was Travis Kelce and Darren Waller, 1A, 1B. Like, that's really what it was. And so I can understand the frustration when they have you playing H-back essentially back there and going down the middle and blocking. But in your opinion, how have you kind of seen the tight end position evolve over the years? And then would you consider yourself one of the best receiving tight ends to play in the NFL?
Yeah, man, the position changed a lot, man. 'Cause like it used to just be like an extended tackle, like on the end of one.
Yeah, just an extra guy for protection.
275. Yeah,
like Colton Miller was playing tight end in like the 80s and 90s.
Yeah,
but, it's changed a lot.
Man.
Now, I remember the first time I saw, I think it was Jimmy Graham with the Saints. I was like, whoa,
mutant.
I feel like I could like maybe get there one day, you know what I'm saying? And like, I remember guys like Antonio Gates and like Tony Gonzalez, like that mold of player. And then now it's like the position like adding like speed and stuff like that. And Travis Kelce's out there saucing everybody up. And George Kittle, like it takes 8 people to tackle him. Like there's guys with unique skill sets and it can also like catch 100 passes a year, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's really cool, man. They're becoming a force. And I feel like, I definitely was one of the best when I was out there consistently. I feel like it's, you know, the tape is there for people to go and watch. I don't feel like I need to say a whole lot. It's just like, that's just what it was.
It's like how many tight ends have clipped 1,000 receptions? I mean, that's a box that not many people can like check.
He said he did the Alex Pereira.
Yeah.
There it is for you.
Yeah.
Of Alex Pereira, I'm crossing the street and walking.
You're hitting a 4.4, huh?
What? I'm sprinting.
4.4.
Testing that hammy.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, don't pop them babies.
Yeah, that's a different animal. Different animal. And I was gonna say too, I think this is something that doesn't get talked about enough, but we've talked about it in this group with Brogan and the guys. Like, this is something that I think John Gruden doesn't get his flowers enough, but the way he was able to utilize not only you, but like also revamp dudes' careers. Like, you obviously are example A. Like, you went from going from the Ravens and nobody knowing you to coming in and everyone's like, who the is this guy? Like, and Gruden was feeding you the rock in DC, obviously, but guys like Zay Jones and guys like Nelly Aguilar come in, have career years and go get paid. Like, that's something that doesn't get talked about enough. And, you know, obviously his run ended abruptly, but, you know, with Gruden and the whole situation, but just kind of hit on, you know, your relationship with Coach Gruden, because he had so much love for you. I know you felt it, you know, being up close and personal with him, but the whole team did. Like, he utilized you in the way I feel like you were supposed to be utilized, and just kind of, talk about your relationship with him in those conversations.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you ever, Max, I don't know if you ever heard like people in like meetings that say like a newcomer comes in and like, we'll love on you till you're able to love yourself. And,
Yeah.
I remember like in the OTAs of like when they let Jared Cook walk in free agency. I remember seeing online people were like, "You're letting him walk for a drug addict?"
Oh, Christ.
It's like, that's
Like,
kind of
damn.
that's kind of shit that's going through my head. And then, like from the beginning of those OTAs, Gruden's like, "This is gonna be a hell of a year, man. Like, you're gonna be one of the best." Like, he's like speaking these things into me, and I'm like, okay, like, you believe it? Like,
For real?
Yeah.
Sure.
Right. And then it's like, as the off season goes along, I gain more confidence. I just feel like I'm growing in my game. It's just like, man, like he was really planting seeds, and like, he really didn't have to do that, bro. Like, you don't have to get somebody off the practice squad who like nobody's really trusting their character and just being like, here you go. Like, and like nobody had to do that, but he was willing to do that. And his job's on the line. They're coming off a bad year the year before. And it's just like, nah, like I'm putting my trust in you. Like I see things in you and I want to give you that opportunity. It's just like, how could you not love somebody like that, And just that he's just like a crazy dude, man. And the way that he act in meetings, like he's just a nut job, man. But like all the stuff that how he kind of his coaching career kind of fizzled out. It's like, I just see a man that loved me, that loved a lot of guys, and like Max just said, gave guys a lot of chances to succeed. He's one of those guys I'll be like, nah, we sticking it to them. Like if you playing your old team, like, nah, we got they neck, like they up.
Yeah.
So you just that was just riding for you, man. So I can never say enough good things.
He's the best, man. Darren Waller, we're gonna hit you on this fucking seam route right here. There's no buddy in the league that can guard it.
Wood if you're with
It's
me.
Wild shit, bro.
Bro, his team meetings are stand-up comedy, bro. If he has ever thought about doing it, that man should do stand-up, because his team meeting for I look forward to it every single day, bro. It's pure comedy.
He needs to go
The
back on
college
ESPN
QB
with some
thing
sort of like
that
QB
was
breakdown
great.
thing.
I used
Yeah.
to love that.
He would just break
Yeah.
them down right in front of you, then build you back up. Also, I think he did a good job of like picking talent. Like obviously you just mentioned it, Max. He saw something in Darren early on and made a lot of not plays, but drew the offense around him. Essentially, I mean, you caught the ball more than any wide receiver ever sniffed it. And then Max, you're a fourth rounder who obviously has turned into a superstar. So there's a lot of guys where I feel like they just had a keen eye for talent, and they just saw stuff in guys that other people truly didn't. And that was the dopest part, I think, about that whole
That's
team.
the hardest thing.
Those couple of
Yeah.
stretches of years. Yeah.
No, for sure. For sure. I mean, and that's the thing too. You look back and you can get in your own mind and, do the what ifs, but just imagine like prime Waller and prime Antonio Brown and prime Josh Jacobs. Like that, bro, that could have really been so crazy. It still pisses me off.
Bro, that would
Bro,
I was going to that thing like, oh, this is the AB show. Like, I'll get some, like, they're going to quadruple team him and I'll catch some shit, like, for real. But it's like, then me having the season I have, like, damn, imagine if AB was there too. That would have been nuts, bro.
it would have been a cheat code. It would have been a cheat code.
Gruden's got to
No
do
doubt.
the Tucker Carlson route. Bring him, go on X
Yeah.
exclusively, so just be raw, unfiltered, uncut, and it would go off.
I don't know if that's a good thing, but I would
I would
here for
subscribe.
it.
I'd
I'm embracing it.
I would
Yes,
tune
yeah.
in.
Oh, every time, no doubt.
We got
And then
to. You want to hit the Mount Rush?
Yeah,
Go ahead,
one more.
Swell.
I got one more question for you, dude. So in college, we used to draw up plays for Maxx at tight end. We called it the sidewalk slammer. That story is probably for another time. But do you think Maxx could play tight end tight end position at all, or at least get him some sort of goal line package like JJ Watt? Him and I talk about this all the time. I'm like, how are they not? This dude's 360 and windmilling, and he thinks he's an offensive guy. So you might as well give him a shot at it. Do you think he could do it?
Bro, that shit was in, wasn't it?
It was, bro. It was
We
supposed to
had
be
LeBron.
crawl.
We had that in. Like, he was like going out wide. Like, he went up on Foster in the
Dunked on his ass,
post practice 1-on-1. Like, that shit was literally in the playbook.
bro. Yeah, I'm still mad to this day. Like I truly, I truly would bother him all the time. Like my second year, I'm like, coach, I was like, I'm telling you, I'm ready. Just let me know. He's like, you got to at least get 10 sacks first. And I'll be like, all right. And so once I got it, I'm like, I'm ready. And we legitimately had plays installed for me to play tight end, like corner routes, all type of shit. That footage needs to be dropped because I still have it. But I don't think Foster's going to be too happy about it. Yeah.
How annoying, bro.
For
We
one
spent
day.
hours throwing after practice to get that figured out. And it's like, why are they drawing them up if they're not even going to use it?
Fact.
Bro, yes. Me and DC would throw the ball. I mean, me and Brogan in college, we would go just me and him on the field at Eastern. Brogan be throwing me fades, all type of routes and shit. I'm still waiting for my moment. I'm not fucking giving it up. We'll see.
AP probably get to you,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Pray to God.
But if you go in there and
Pray
don't
to God.
score, you're a goofy, and that you'll never get another chance.
Isn't going to be a decoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about it too much.
Bro, McDaniels had him in too, bro. McDaniels put in multiple plays for me. I just never got called. I'm like, bro, just give me one chance. That's
Coach's
all I have.
confidence wasn't up.
No.
NCAA, baby.
I know, it's bullshit.
All right. Let's swing it. You want to go to this segment?
Yeah, hit it.
Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah, we got our one of our segments here. It's called Mount Rush. So we, ask everybody that comes on the show at their position, who was their Mount Rushmore? So their top 4 greatest at their position. So Darren Waller, who was your Mount Rush of tight ends in the National Football League, in your opinion?
Oh man, that's
Past or present?
actually easy. So,
Okay.
this is like all time.
All time.
Oh yeah,
Anybody.
Tony Gonzalez, Antonio Gates, Travis Kelce, Jimmy Graham.
Done.
I love that. Jimmy Graham, that's a solid.
Just off the
That
instant,
might be the
me seeing him, like, this man is literally dunking on
Facts.
people. Like, this isn't fair. Like, that's
bro. He was way too damn big. He doesn't look like he belongs on a football field.
Bro, the Ravens sent me home from my rookie year and were like, what? Basically, like, learn some tight end shit.
Watch his
You're
film.
playing tight end when you come back. And I was just like, YouTube.
Yeah.
Jimmy Graham highlights.
It worked
Brees.
out.
That's it.
Whether you need to fix your kitchen sink or you need to learn how to play tight
YouTube
end,
University.
will always
That's
tell
right.
those answers for you.
Excellent.
Oh, for sure.
Facts.
There's some all time greats. Like when we were coming up, like the Dallas Clarks, the Chris Cooley's. Those dudes are legends too.
Even Gronk. I'm surprised you didn't throw Gronk
Yeah,
in there.
Gronk. I was gonna
But-
say Gronk.
Whoa.
Oh, look at now
I
he's
think
like,
Gronk's the
right
best of
now.
all
Gronk.
time.
Just add Martellus Bennett just because he was a G
Yeah.
everything he did.
Yeah.
Just out of respect.
So many good tight ends on there, bro. But
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
notice
bro.
most of those tight ends were like pretty much
Of recent.
their specialty was receiving, like tight ends. You know what I mean? Like Gronk he could block for a while there, I think, until he started getting.
Get Gronk a 5th head, bro. I'm tweaking. Please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get him.
We'll sneak him in there.
That's what we'll do.
Just
Yeah,
untaught.
for sure.
100%. Who's the best tight end in the game outside of Kelce? Or let me do this. Who's the best up and coming tight end in the NFL right now, you think? Sam Laporta?
I mean, bro I was about to say him. Bro had 75 catches his first year. I mean,
Killing.
that's a good place to start for an up and coming.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is a great place to
Pretty
start.
decent. Just led, I think, all tight ends in receiving as a rookie.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah, him. Yeah, he's a real deal for sure. So
Iowa Hawkeye.
they just spit him out, tight ends.
Bro,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
Laboratory.
Tight end you.
Laboratory for
Just
sure.
big corn-fed
It's like-
white guy who can catch
Yeah.
the ball.
It's like
Phenomenal.
Georgia D linemen. They're just getting fed out of a lab.
Yeah.
Yeah, facts.
Yes.
We got Keeping It Creel's up next.
So it'll just be a short couple things. It'll be a this and or a that. So for a better game day atmosphere, Oakland versus Vegas.
Oakland, bro.
Yes.
Oakland was too grimy, bro.
What?
Like, that's it.
What? Yeah. What is your
That's
most
true.
memorable Oakland experience for a game day?
I think it was like the end of the third quarter, the first time smelling the entire stadium
This is
smell like
Max.
weed.
Yes.
That's what Max
That's-
is.
that's what Max-
Literally.
He called it the
That
Kush
time.
quarter.
The coach
the
quarter.
fourth.
Facts.
Oh shit.
Bro, just like, yeah, just wow, bro. I remember my rookie year, we played there. I was with the Ravens, we were visiting, but they had the visitors locker room smelling like a pound of dog. They had like candles in there. Like, I feel like they were doing something.
Like welcome.
Just like a grimy ass environment, the black hole. Like, that shit was just
No.
disgusting, but in a great way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
it just
Yeah.
molded the team.
Got it.
Yes.
100%.
Just need
and
the
the
different
dirt
football.
on the field.
Yeah.
My God, I can't believe they allowed us to play on that shit.
I still have scars that are trying to heal from.
Oh, what? My forearms
Cocoa butter.
have never recovered.
Holy shit. So then, and I think this will be an easy question to answer. Playing outside versus playing inside.
It depends on the time of the year and where it's at.
Okay.
Because it's early in the season, yeah, get me outside. But if it's Pittsburgh,
New York, late.
and rivers frozen,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
catch me inside.
I think I'm fairly certain
Get me on
the
the
Raiders game at Steelers was like one of the coldest ever recorded. It was like New Year's.
Yes.
No, it was Christmas Eve, right? It was like minus
Bro,
20 or
yes.
something, minus 30.
Bro, my focus was out there with no shirts. I remember Foster got hypothermia, bro. He was about to warm up.
But I sent him to
Good, that's what he
Mercy.
gets. That's what he
AGH.
Yeah,
Cold, bro. It was so cold.
Holy.
bro. Me and Denzel Perryman went out there. I'm like, Denzel, I'm putting Vaseline head to toe. And I'm going out there without a shirt. I don't give a. And Denzel just looked at me. He's like, yeah. He's like, let's do it. We went out there. It was the worst mistake I ever made in my life, bro. I legitimately thought my heart was gonna stop. It was
I was gonna
ridiculous.
say, how long did you last out there with your shirt off before you went back in?
No, I was straight. Like the warm up was good. I got a good sweat in, but like then you start to calm down. Your body's
Yeah.
not used to being in that type of temperature, so your sweat just like
Freezes.
freezes. And bro, like to start that game, like I was like, I'm not wearing a coat. Like I'm not wearing a coat. I've never worn a coat in the cold on the sideline. Like fuck that. It was literally you could not wear a coat, bro. It was that cold.
I was
Like
running the side. I'm like, nah, give me that shit
Yeah,
now.
fact.
you gotta get that shit and get by the heater and then
Now.
run straight down when you're back on the field. Just go.
Waller's like, TV
Different,
timeout.
bro.
Put that coat over me right now.
Yeah.
God,
Oh my
and I'm by the
God.
furnace. They might be looking for me, but I'm by the furnace.
Every time.
Burning your pants.
It's one thing you just can't get accustomed to, bro. It doesn't matter if you
No.
live in the cold or whatever. You cannot get accustomed to it.
No,
No.
that's different, bro.
You got to put some weight on.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm built for it.
Yeah.
I'm down in Mexico just sweating the whole time.
All right, talking about this next. In terms of a lifestyle, East Coast versus West Coast.
I think West Coast. West Coast, there's more
More to give.
water,
Yeah.
more mountains. Just like I feel like chiller people. East Coast people are just like
Flying
really
around.
grimy, like out of my way. What do you mean, hello?
Because it's
Like,
European. You know why? It's
looking
because it's very European on the East Coast. They don't have many manners. I'll just be honest.
They don't believe in that. No.
That's a
Ain't
nice way
ain't
to
like
put
you
it.
merge on the highway. None of that.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Scowling out you when you hold the door open for them.
Fact.
Yeah, fuck no. Those Albanians, trust me, I've got them in my family. They don't f around. They don't say hello.
No.
And then the last one being Kanye or Jay-Z.
Oh,
Shit.
Drake.
yay. Yay.
Kanye or Jay-Z. My two favorite CDs in my CD player.
One of
growing
each.
up, Jay-Z Black Album and Graduation Kanye. So
Legendary.
That's tough.
Gotta pick one.
We're here for the
but
heavy hitters.
Jay-Z and I need the beat by Kanye.
Mm,
Oh,
All right.
Okay.
that's respectful.
It's respectful. I apprect you, Press.
And,
Sorry,
it's,
to-
it,
you can do that.
and is eight Lounge the best location in Vegas?
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's incredible, bro.
shout out Giuseppe.
Yeah. Resort
Oh,
World.
That
man.
just-
Debbie, bro, that dude is
The
one of a
GOAT.
kind there, man.
One of a kind.
Hospitality God. It's a
Love
hospitality
it
God.
there. You'll see Mark Davis in there, man.
Oh yeah. No question. I call a lot of people the GOAT, but Giuseppe might be the elite of all elites when it comes to GOAT.
He is a
Got it.
hospitality
Go to
rush.
He wins.
Not rush for hospitality.
He
His,
takes the
his own
crown.
face.
Buddy, what do you need?
Buddy.
Buddy.
Buddy, you see what I'm
Buddy.
dealing with?
How old are you? Pizza? You want pizza?
Yeah. Hungry?
Pizza, drink, shot, anything you need. I got you. Don't
yeah,
worry
you
about
can
it.
mention one thing. You'd be like, man, I really kind of want to go out tonight. You want to go out? Okay, hold on. And he makes 10 calls before you can even finish your thought process. I love it.
Literally.
Like, I was just thinking about it.
Yeah. Thought out loud.
Yeah, we got a little rush mail. So we got some Condor Cartel submitted questions.
Oh yeah.
Starting it off with, and you got to work with me on some of these people's names. Shia Dodger _NKC. What's your favorite Raiders moment?
Oh, man. Favorite Raiders moment. I think it might have had to been, we played the Ravens. It was the first game in Vegas. It was also on my birthday. It was against my former team. and ended up winning that game in overtime. And like that team knowing that I was going to get the ball like a ton and they couldn't do shit about it.
Yes.
Like, that was probably my
Hell
favorite
yeah.
moment.
Hell yeah. That game was legendary.
Yeah.
Legendary, bro.
There was lots of games where people couldn't figure out what to do, bro, when you were
When you were running down the
I
field.
was gonna say, I thought you were gonna say the Jets game because that was just
Oh man.
cheat code.
I didn't think that day was going to be good. I went out to warm-ups with like no pants. I forgot pants. Like I was out there and just like looking crazy. Frank was like, tighten up, man. Like, and then it just ended up being a crazy day.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right. Ronald M. Mimich wants to know, how hard was it to block Maxx?
Fortunately, I didn't have to do that a whole bunch. So
He prefaced it in practice. I just left that out.
I feel like they schemed a lot of my reps to where I didn't have to
You
block.
didn't have to.
Grateful.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
do we want a funny story?
Yes,
please.
All
Remember when Maxx was about to break the practice squad tight end's neck? Friday.
On a Friday.
chill out, bro.
Right, he was going, but poor Dan, man. I love Dan. Man. He was going hard, man. Dude's trying to keep his job, stay employed. You know what I'm saying? He got family, and he's blocking hard on Friday. And Maxx is not.
Max
going
doesn't
for it.
like the Friday block hard.
Yeah.
He hit Maxx with
He's
a
like,
dose of his
Maxx-
own medicine. It didn't go well.
Mhm, okay. And
Yeah.
I bet.
he's like,
I did,
break your neck, and has his neck. You know,
Like-
he's like, do it.
Yeah.
They're like,
Give me the settlement. Give me the lead settlement.
God, I forgot about that experience.
and the first
Yeah,
time,
I wanted to
the first
murder
time
him.
Jason Witten tried to block you.
Please tell him.
How'd that go?
That was, I felt bad. Poor guy.
He fell.
I love Jake.
Practice is not what you really want to do.
No. How
God,
dope was
poor
that?
Dan.
I forgot you were with Witten. How dope was that for you to be with Witten? You know, that was the back end of his career, right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Very
that-
bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say very back end. He was probably chilling.
Nah, but he was
he was
dope, man. He was on me about like certain ways to like take care of my body. Like he was like, nah, motherfucker, get the hyperbaric chamber, like get a massage like Monday and Tuesday after the game. Like, and he would be in there watching, like breaking film down like and like, and it was very helpful, just very smart. Like his brain for the game was through the roof.
Yeah.
It's crazy. He might be on that Mount Rushmore. It's hard to leave him
That's
off there too.
what I'm saying.
Fuck.
That's my 4. Like you could make a 4 with completely other different ones, and that shit will be a fire ass list, and I wouldn't even argue with you. So
Yeah.
No, facts. It just shows you there's so many damn good tight ends. But Witten in his heyday was an animal, bro. Running with his helmet off and
Yes.
shit.
Punching
Legend.
people.
Yeah, facts.
That's funny.
He was a dog.
We got new_knowledge. Wants to know what happened to the song you had with Maxx. Can't find it on Spotify anymore.
what?
Oh, sir.
They chopped
I
it.
think it's.
It's-
I was gonna
Did
say.
they
I think it's
chop
on
it?
Apple Music. I know that.
Hold on.
Pull that shit up.
What is it?
Gotta go.
Yeah, I was just gonna say go
There?
in my head. It's on Apple Music, so it's got to be on there.
Pull up on the scene, man, I glow when I step. White and black diamonds, I feel like a ref. VVS diamonds, they dance on my neck.
Yeah, it's all over. We're not attacking him just a little bit. Yeah, it's definitely on Spotify and Apple Music.
Maybe we just got to do a little spell correct. That's all.
Yeah.
All right, we got last one. We have a recurring question asker. The Autumn JU. All right. So the Autumn JU wants to know, what's your favorite touchdown score?
favorite over.
Darren can't help himself.
I think probably we played the Chargers during COVID on a Thursday, and one of my teammates from Baltimore that was like the only dude I would hang out with, he died like the night before. And I called a go route for a touchdown and like kind of like gave him a salute. So that was like probably the most memorable.
Oh yeah.
Legendary.
All right, that's all the Rushman we got. Appreciate the questions.
Yeah, that's a wrap. Shit, we've been going for a solid hour or so.
Hey, Max,
Yeah.
real quick, we want to show you love too. What new music you got coming out? When you drop it next, like when can everybody expect for you? Like, what's the next thing you got cooking up in the lab?
Oh yeah. So last Wednesday I dropped a 2-pack EP. It's called Mind Games. It's all in your head. So the first song's called Mind Game. Second song's called All in Your Head. Both of those got videos coming soon. Content on all the TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, you name it. I got some footage from when I went to Utah. Just like all that shit. Got an album coming on the way. But yeah, man, expect plenty more from
Stay tuned.
Yeah. Y'all love Utah. You and Max.
Well, Utah's fine, bro.
I just landed on my way back home from Mexico. It's the nicest airport I've ever been into in my entire life.
Bro.
Hell yeah.
Well, I saw Dre over there wakeboarding in Utah in some
yeah.
blue ass water.
I saw it.
Bro, Utah is different. I love it out there.
Utah's fine.
Definitely.
Okay, hold up. I actually do have one more question before we wrap this up. And I forgot I had clipped this video, but I sent it in the group chat before, and we're doing a little poll. Need some comedic relief in the building. But I don't know if you can see this. Can you see this?
Bro,
Did that shit burn?
And
Or
were you
what?
drowning?
I need to know.
How many takes did it take?
Yeah, I need to know.
that was, bro. That was like February too.
Oh,
Water was dumb ice.
Whole bath.
Whole punch hit me in the face.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
He's got salt water in the eye.
It had to burn the eye, right?
bro, that was like the third take. I was pissed.
Oh.
It's like pepper spray at that point.
Bro, they
Who the fuck home?
the first one they were like, nah, that ain't it. You gotta do it. I'm like,
They was just fucking with you.
Yeah, he probably was. You're like, it's not your face getting the fuck.
like this is it. After this is it.
It's done. 3 in your eye. That's it.
I'm glad you
I love it. No, I had to ask. But anyway, bro, we appreciate you. You know, I love you like a brother, and we'll be tuned in. You got a lot of new shit cooking up. We'll be definitely locked in, and just want to say I'm proud of you, brother. You're an absolute dog. Your story is incredible, and you inspire me every day. So we appreciate you coming on, brother. We definitely got to have you on.
Oh, yeah.
You know, at least once a year to get an update and get the people, you know, what they need, that fire. So we appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you guys.
Walk up in the light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him, oh God. Walk up in the light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him.